Hey there and welcome on back. As always, I'm Carl, absent-minded professor of knives and all things sharp. So I'm back. Grab your pens and paper. Class is about to begin. Today we're looking at a new one from Buck, the Infusion. Yes, that's right, the Infusion. New little knife from Buck, rather nice. But before I get too far into this, let's get the syllabus work out of the way, shall we? If you're new to the channel, welcome. Here on Fridays, we mainly do knife reviews. Occasionally I'll do a review of some piece of camping equipment or survival gear. You know, compasses, flashlights, that sort of thing. But mainly I do knives. Then on Mondays, I'll occasionally do a video in a series called What You Really Need to Know, Knife Basics. This is aimed more at the person who's new to the channel or to the world of collecting knives. But it's got some information for those of us who have been in it for a while, and who knows, occasionally I even learn something from some of the comments left on these videos, so hope you enjoy those. But on with the knife here, because that's what you're really here to see. The Infusion is a sweet little knife. Unfortunately, it is made in China, but it's got Buck quality control, so I think we're going to be quite happy with it. Anodized aluminum handle scales. The blade is 7CR17 MOV, which is a rather popular steel for surgical instruments, so it's definitely going to do some nice work that way. The framework is slightly skeletonized, as you can see. It's not as skeletonized as I'm used to, but it's still enough to keep the weight down a wee bit. It's assisted opening, and this one is, well, quite frankly, the opening is a little stiff right now. I'm assuming that will break in as you use it more often. Maybe put a drop of oil on the pivot points. It's inside. Definitely got a stiff spring in it. Takes a little bit to get it closed. And as I say, it's a little stiff opening, but other than that, not bad. The overall length is 4.63 inches closed. The blade is 3 1/4 inches satin finish. So all in all, not bad. You can reverse the pocket clip if you'd like. You're stuck with point tip up carry, but you can reverse it for left hand carry as well as right hand carry. But let's see how it does with our standard bearer tests. That's what really counts after all. And as always, this is right out of the box. No touch-up, no nothing. So let's start with a piece of scratch paper. Not bad at all. Maybe a little bit of roughness, but not anything I can complain about. Let's see here. Cardboard box. As you can see, this one's already been opened, but let's see how it does with it, shall we? Start. Let's see here. It stabs in nicely. Slices nicely. Yeah. It'll open up a box quite quickly and quite nicely. No complaints there at all. So, let's see here. Hang package test. We'll use a old Pepsi bottle here, since I'm still not able to get the my favorite Gold Peak tea bottles. Okay, stabbed in beautifully. Let's flip that back around though. You never want to cut towards yourself, as you all know. All you need is for the knife to slip and wham, you've got yourself a nice little problem. And it's opening that, yeah, that opened it up quite nicely without any problems whatsoever. Nice. Paracord. I know I've got some paracord here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So, and see how this works. Now that was like butter. By the way, this thing has a hollow grind on the blade. I forgot to mention that, but makes it kind of nice. And whoops, well, let's put some, yeah, right through. So let's see about using just the very tip here. And launch. Okay. People sometimes ask me why I insist on testing with just the very tip of the knife, but you know, sometimes you get into a situation where you can only use the very tip, and if you can't cut with it, but the knife isn't going to do you much good. So, let's see here. Still haven't gotten the new zip ties in. I don't know what's going on with Amazon. They normally have them very next day, but it's been a week and I still haven't seen them. But we still have the heavy gauge cowhide. Let's see how that does. Yeah. My only problem is that my left hand cannot hold on to things the way I used to be able to, but yeah, it's cutting through the leather very nicely. So if you need to cut a piece of leather to make laces out in the field or something like that, you could do it. So next thing, I'll go to this greatly chewed up piece of cherry here. I'll start with just nice. Feathering up nicely. Let's see how it does on chopping. So. Chopping it up quite nicely, which is nice. Let's see if I've got a shorter piece of wood here I can use to baton. There we go. Okay. Here. Now this is pine, so it's going to be a lot easier to baton into, which is a good thing, because batoning with a folding knife is not a great idea. First time it's ever been used, so there's been no real stress on the pivot point. Okay, but yeah, every time you baton, you're putting stress on pivot point, and that's just asking for it to come apart. Okay. Another thing to watch, I really should have a leather glove on, especially as thin as this part gets, but since I'm hitting wow. Nice. Admittedly, that was pine. I wouldn't want to try that with cherry or walnut. Definitely not rock maple, but it did quite a number on a piece of pine. And yeah, very sweet. Let's see here. Do I have any wire left so we can do that last thing? Give me just a second here. Nope. No wire, unfortunately, but no, not that. There. We got a ferro rod. Let's see how this thing does with ferro rod. Lots of chimping, so it's got some edges there. Let's see. Oh yeah. Those are some nice sparks. Definitely work well. So you can use it to start a fire if you need to. All in all, very sweet. Let's see here. Still need to check, make sure we didn't do any damage to it. So let's go back to that piece of paper, shall we? Let's see how it goes. Just as it was when I first started. Cannot complain about that at all. So there you have it. The Buck Infusion. Sweet little knife. Not a bad price point either. Let me double check something here. Yeah, recommended retail price is $56. So I haven't put it on my website yet, so I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be charging on the website, but it's probably going to be somewhere around $42, $43. We'll just have to double check a couple things. In the meantime, I've got a whole new box of knives I need to check in and get posted up to the website for sale. So I wish you all the best. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. And remember, it may be ability decides what you can do. It may be motivation decides what you will do. But it's attitude decides how well you do it. So if you're going to do something, do it with attitude. See you now. Bye.